Hey, this is Pizza Dude Man. Last week, I covered my top 10 potential newcomers for Smash Ultimate, but those were particularly for unique newcomers. Smash Ultimate has a second type of character, Echoes. Let's define Echoes really quick. Echoes are characters whose builds and movesets are entirely based off another pre-existing character, with only cosmetic and statistical differences. Lucina, for instance, counts as an Echo because all her moves are a direct copy of Marth's moves, but the way damage is dealt is different. Meanwhile, Dr. Mario does not count as an Echo because, although he is mostly based on Mario, he has unique moves like the Dr. Tornado. Echoes can also have different animations than their base and even different final smashes. Now, before I count down my top 10 potential Echoes for Smash Ultimate, let me say this. Ideally, every Super Smash Bros. Character should and could be unique. Lucina could have her own fighting style that better resembles her from the Fire Emblem games and incorporates lances. Dark Pit could have a moveset that uses various different weapons from Kid Icarus Uprising, and as I mentioned in an older video, Daisy could have a plant-based moveset involving the manipulation of flowers. What Echoes allow for is the addition of more characters than was possible before. It takes far less time to develop an Echo fighter. That's why personally I'm fine with trading off the uniqueness of some fighters for the sake of having more fighters, because I like seeing the characters, as long as the Echo makes sense. Although Lucina could have her own fighting style, it's reasonable to say that she would emulate Marth, since she does do that in Fire Emblem. Dark Pit is a literal clone of Pit, and Daisy has never really shown a wide spread of abilities all of her own. Those are the types of characters that will make up my top 10 potential Echoes for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 10. Raichu. Poor Raichu is one of my favorite Pokemon and it never gets any love. Pikachu is the mascot, Pikachu gets all the special appearances, and even when Raichu does get something cool, like an Alolan form with a unique Z move, Pikachu gets 2 unique Z moves and still overshadows him. But perhaps in Smash Bros., Raichu could at least be Pikachu's equal by being Pikachu's Echo. Raichu could be a stronger but slower variant of Pikachu as a reference to their legendary battle in the anime. The only thing that's a little off is how much longer Raichu's tail is, but I don't think Pikachu uses his tail for many attacks, and maybe that could just be a special feature of Raichu. His tail attacks have way more range. I know it might seem excessive to have Raichu on top of Pikachu and Pichu, but even Pichu is overshadowing Raichu? Number 9. Viridi or Medusa. I'm putting both of these two at number 9 because the idea is the same. They're Echoes of Palutena. For Viridi, you add one of the main secondary characters of Kid Icarus Uprising, and I believe the only one remaining to regularly partake in the Palutena's guidance of Smash Bros. With Medusa, you get one of the main villains, and the iconic villain of the Kid Icarus series as a whole. I think both these characters are capable of being good Echoes for Palutena. Both Viridi and Medusa play a similar role as goddesses, and all three wield a staff. For Viridi, you'd want to at least change the appearance of her attacks to resemble the forces of nature. The only question is if her build is close enough. Lucina is shorter than Marth, but Palutena and Viridi have a much bigger height difference, so I'm not sure how well that would translate. As for Medusa, her attacks need to resemble the darker forces of the underworld, and she should at least have a unique final smash to showcase her true powers. Number 8. Isabelle. Isabelle has become a beloved mascot of the Animal Crossing series, and based on that alone, I have seen many people request her for Smash Bros. She's a character that people adore, and isn't that what Smash Bros. Is for? A game where we can play as all of our favorite Nintendo characters? From that mindset, I think Isabelle makes sense. The villager in Smash Bros. Uses a moveset that is basically the epitome of Animal Crossing, but given that most Animal Crossing characters already have similar builds and identical animations, I believe it also makes sense for Isabelle to be an Echo of the villager. Maybe in her final smash, instead of a house, she could build a town hall or another public works project. Number 7. Ninten. Ninten is the main protagonist of Earthbound Beginnings, and he plays the same role Ness and Lucas do in Earthbound and Mother 3 respectively. Besides looking eerily similar to Ness, he uses the same weapons in PSI, and for his final smash he could summon Anna and Lloyd, the main party members from Earthbound Beginnings. What would be cool about his inclusion is that then we'd have every single main mother protagonist playable in Super Smash Bros. And that's about it. Number 6. Octoling. On one hand, it seems a little strange to me to add an Echo for a brand new character on the roster. On the other hand, Octolings are just so perfect. They're a great example of the type of character that makes perfect sense as an Echo, given they literally use all the same abilities Inklings do. Number 5. Funky Kong. Funky as an Echo reminds me of Daisy. Although we have seen abilities from him that could work as a unique fighter, they are not so abundant that being an Echo doesn't make sense, he might not have a big enough fan base to get in otherwise, and his build is so similar to Donkey Kong's already anyway. I hope he would at least have a unique idle and walking animation to fit his character better, and perhaps a surfing-themed final smash. I also want to take this opportunity to talk about Dixie Kong. Yes, just like Funky, she could work as an Echo given her similar build to Diddy, and any of his moves could be replicated by her in some fashion. However, Dixie does have a unique ability that is so ingrained to her character, I think she wouldn't feel like Dixie without it, and that's her helicopter hair. I would so much want this to be her recovery that even if everything else was like Diddy, I wouldn't want her to be an Echo. She would be more like Dr. Mario, a semi-clone as we used to say. Number 4. Galacta Knight. Galacta Knight's appearance and abilities are already based off of Meta Knight, so of course I'm proposing Galacta Knight as Meta Knight's Echo. When Galacta Knight first appeared in Kirby Superstar Ultra, many people considered him the most challenging foe to have ever been in a Kirby game, and he got recognition and his reputation as that. Since then, he has been a recurring secret boss to the Kirby series, upholding a similar role. As an Echo, my idea is that Galacta Knight could have greatly exaggerated variants of Meta Knight's attacks with more power and range, but less combos and attack speed, making him better at killing, but not as good at racking up damage when compared to Meta Knight. Even if we don't get Galacta Knight as an Echo, could we at least get his theme song in Smash Bros? Number 3. Dark Samus. Dark Samus is a vicious being created in the form of Samus, so in essence it's an evil Samus clone. Dark Samus was the main recurring villain through the Metroid Prime series, so given how well received those games were, how much people liked Dark Samus as a character, and how we know there's an upcoming Metroid Prime game, I think Dark Samus is a great character choice. Although Dark Samus doesn't actually copy all of Samus's abilities, I think it still makes sense for it to use all of Samus's attacks from Smash Bros., although it would be great if the effects and colors were changed to better match Dark Samus's phase-on abilities. A lot of people believe this one is a big possibility since we have yet to see Dark Samus's assist trophy in Smash Ultimate since it was one in Smash 4. Number 2. Chrom. Fire Emblem Awakening has 3 main characters, Robin, Lucina, and Chrom, so it's a little strange that only 2 of the 3 are fully playable in Smash Bros. When the remaining 1 is the actual main lord and leader and is still regularly used in substantial roles. At first, it might seem strange to propose Chrom as an Echo of Ike, but actually I think it makes sense. First, while it would make more sense for Chrom and Lucina to be similar, Lucina is already an Echo of Marth, and since Roy is also in the roster as Marth's semi-clone, we really don't need any more of that moveset. Second, Chrom and Lucina actually do have separate battle animations in Fire Emblem Awakening, so it's reasonable to say they'd fight differently in Smash Bros. Third, the way Ike uses Ragnall in Smash Bros. Is with both one-handed and two-handed swings, depending on the attack. This matches the way Chrom uses Falchion much more than how Lucina uses Falchion. While Lucina emulates Marth, we see Chrom use Falchion one-handed in battle animations, but two-handed in many cutscenes. Last, there are already multiple references in Smash 4 of how similar Chrom is to Ike. Ike has a costume in Smash 4 that resembles Chrom's clothes, and Robin's Palutena's guidance sequence directly talks about how similar Chrom is to Ike. The one thing they mention here is how Chrom doesn't use Aether like Ike does. Now, Chrom does use Aether in Fire Emblem Awakening. It's his main special move, but he doesn't throw his sword upward like Ike does. The question is, would it make sense for Chrom to do that? And I think it works fine. I don't see a reason why Chrom couldn't do that. It's already pretty similar to things he actually does. As an Echo, I think Chrom could be a very fun variant of Ike. Since Falchion isn't as big as Ragnall, Chrom could have much faster attacks, eliminating the punishment Ike has from his long charge-up times and ending lag that comes from his huge, slow swings. Meanwhile, Ike has more power and range than Chrom. I have Chrom high on my list because he's a character I'm very interested in seeing in Smash Bros. Making him an Echo of Ike would be quick, easy, and sensible, and it would be a fun follow-up to Chrom's statement in Smash 4 that he might have his chance next time. Just like Dark Samus, we have yet to see Chrom, who was previously part of Robin's Final Smash, so maybe? Number 1. Shadow the Hedgehog. The unusual thing about this pick is that it would be the very first instance of us seeing a second third-party character from a series we already have, and I also heavily considered including similar characters like Ken as an Echo for Ryu. But I believe that if any third-party series were to get a second character, it would be Sonic. Sonic has been the most consistent third-party character in Smash Bros. Sonic has had far more crossover games than Nintendo than the others, and the Sonic series is so well known for its cast of characters. Shadow might not have been my first choice for a second Sonic character in Smash Bros., but he works so well as a Sonic Echo. Yes, Shadow has his Chaos abilities, and he could at least have a Chaos Blast Final Smash to represent that, but Shadow mostly uses the same exact abilities Sonic does. The other cool thing about Shadow is that he was one of the main characters of Sonic Adventure 2, which was the first Sonic game on a Nintendo console, so that's a neat reference all on its own. The only thing about Shadow is that he absolutely must have a unique run animation. I will be so upset if they leave out this detail. Once again, just like Dark Samus, we have yet to see Shadow's previous assist trophy, and on top of that, we have instead seen a new Knuckles assist trophy. So a lot of people believe this one is very possible. All things considered, Shadow is my number 1 potential Echo for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time for the next video. Bye!